Whew, I made it, I survived, that's awesome. Driving modified cars is always a huge risk, and when it's owners' cars, I've never really done a press car in my entire career, which I find is an achievement on its own. And at the same time, owners' cars have stories. And this one in particular was super intriguing because it was an 1,000 horsepower Evo. It was an Evo 10. It was in Virginia Beach, and the owner's name was Reese. And I've heard about this car, down the grapevine. I heard from a little birdie this car is really fast. And I always heard about it, but I didn't really initiate yet if I was gonna drive it or not, because I didn't know him right. And finally, a few people are like, listen, you gotta come down to Virginia Beach. There's this great car, try it. Okay, who is this? They go, Reese's. I'm like, oh, okay. So I drive, the 2 hours to get there from Richmond, Virginia, and meet him, super nice guy. I also meet his tuner. And they're like, okay, so the 1,000 horsepower tune isn't working today, but sadly, you can only drive the 825 horsepower tune. And I'm like, oh God, how tragic. So get in the car. I'm super ready. I've done Evos like this before, but not a 10. The 10 is a bigger car. It's a little bit more bloated. It uses a 4B11 engine instead of the 4G63, which was in every other Evo. So it feels different. It sounds different and feels different. So I'm like, cool. Haven't really done a super high horsepower one of these. Let's see how it goes. So I get in the car, strap in, and the tuner decides to ride with me instead of the owner, because the owner just wanted to see his car go, which is actually pretty popular when I do car reviews. A lot of times the owners have never seen their car be driven. They want to see it roll from the outside. So that's understandable, it's fine. And I'm with a friend named Elle Freeman who hooked me up with the review. And Elle is an ex-airborne veteran who literally showed up to the shoot wearing a shirt that said, I kill terrorists. And so these are the type of people you're around sometimes. And Elle, if you're watching, you're awesome. He had the 700 horsepower GTO, and I reviewed that too. So naturally, we have this crazy high profile car, crazy high profile owners, and we're driving around, and finally, I do the first pull. The pull hits so hard that you can see in the video in the back seat, I have my camera backpack, and it's literally getting thrown around. So the whole thing is moving and being tossed around, and I'm like, this car's really fast. Like, it had been a while since I'd driven something that fast, and I was really appreciating that. Everything goes so perfect, unlike any other day. The car doesn't break, everything's great. There was no, misfires or anything along those lines with the car being powered at an E85 that can happen. So, driving around, I say my outro, thanks for watching, blah, 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 have a great day. And then I turn the camera off and I put the lens cap back on. And I'm like, whew, I made it, I survived, that's awesome. But then the tuner goes, you're not gonna launch it? And I'm like, doesn't this have a stock differential in the back? And he goes, yeah, they don't really make an aftermarket diff for this yet. It was fairly new at the time. And I was like, oh no, I don't think it's a good idea. Let's not do it. And he goes, oh, come on, man, I tuned it. Let me feel what it feels like. And I'm like, if the car breaks, it's on you. Shake on it. So basically shook on it. I can't remember if we did it literally, but it was a mutual verbal agreement. And I find a spot. It's perfect straightaway. We're in like Gloucester, middle of nowhere, Virginia. Do the pull, bump, 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 crazy two-step, slip the clutch. It's this twin disc Quartermaster hard clutch. So it's very hard to get a smooth launch off of it. I did it fine. It wasn't perfect, but I got it going. It got the little bog, the bump, 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 and then it went. And we just do a pull. Awesome, got it on video. Just turn it off again. Tuner goes, not good enough. I'm like, oh, come on, man. No, please. Outside I'm playing it cool, like, I don't know. Inside I'm going, please don't make me do this. And he's like, come on, just one more time for me. And I'm like, oh, you pulled that card, how dare you. And I do it one more time, bump, 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 blah, and I nail it. Like I really do it this time. Awesome, got it on video, lens cap back on, drive back to the house. Do not do anything else. No more pulls, no more anything, as fun as it is. Cruising back, we're back into town, and naturally these cars are hard to drive around town, you know, with the heavy clutch and everything going. You have to rev to about 4,000 to 5,000 RPM to get it to move. So you're like, you know, it's really obnoxious. Cruising down the road, and there's this girl in a Camaro next to me, like a brand spanking new Camaro. I was single at the time. And I look over, and she's pretty cute. And I'm like, oh, look at her. And the tuner's like, yeah, she is pretty cute. She looks over and smiles, and I start waving. I wave at her like dorkly like this, and all of a sudden, as I'm waving, it goes, the rear diff just completely shatters. And there's a giant trail of oil going down the road. And I look at the rear view mirror, there's smoke and everything. And somewhere in the depths of my hard drive, I think, is the clip of this happening. And I pull over into a Shell gas station, and Reese gets out of the car, and he just shrugs. He just goes, it's an Evo. That's what he says. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I feel so bad. And he goes, I saw you launch it. I was like, I didn't want to be that guy. I was like, he told me so. But I was like, yeah, you know, he wanted it in the video due to his tuning work and everything. And he goes, can you just not post it online? I'm like, okay, I won't post it online. And I never did. I kept my word. But this was like 3 years ago, so it's okay now. And got a trailer, got everything on board. Elle's just like, man, that sucks. Car goes away. And this was like the 4th time the car had broke and cost him so much money. But he changed out the diff within 2 days, and he was back on the road again, just like that. So it all worked out. Never put up the clip, even though it's such a glorious clip, especially because you can see my last wave, you know. And that was that. After that, I was like, here, let's cheer you up. Let's film something else. You know, we get in the car and we just film kind of a video podcast in the car talking about the car culture in Virginia Beach and everything. And everybody was in a much better mood after that. He kind of forgot that his Evo broke earlier. And everything was great. And it just shows that even when cars break, there's always kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's why filming car stuff never gets old, because you really just don't know what's going to happen.
If you like that story, it's time to make one of your own. Extreme Experience puts you in the driver's seat of some of the world's best supercars at over 20 racetracks from coast to coast, with no speed limits, no shifting restrictions, and no governors. Head to the link to choose your supercar, find a racetrack near you, and start making a story of your own. Extreme Experience. It's your turn.